Yo, what's up, Starkies? You're tuned in to Starky Stories, the realest spot on YouTube where stories hit harder than real life. I'm your host, Chrome Starks, bringing you wild tales, street legends, urban thrillers, stories to keep you locked in, whether it's truth, fiction, or something in between. You never know what you will get, but trust me, it's always worth it. So hit that like, smash that subscribe, and get ready to tap in with the vibes. Welcome to Starky Stories, where every story got Stark in it. Let's go. The day music died, the assassination of John Lennon. He gave the world peace, poetry, and protest. But on a cold December night in 1980, one of the greatest voices in music history was silenced. Not by age, not by illness, but by a fan. This is the story of how Mark David Chapman killed John Lennon, and why John Lennon, the name alone, shaped the sound of the 20th century. Born in Liverpool, he rose to unimaginable fame as the leader of the Beatles, the most influential band the world had ever seen. By 1980, he was a husband, a father, a solo artist, and a symbol of peace. After a 5-year hiatus from music to raise his son Sean, John had just returned to the spotlight with his new album Double Fantasy. It was his comeback, a fresh start. But while John was enjoying life halfway across the country, in Hawaii, a disturbed young man named Mark David Chapman was spiraling. Chapman was once a fan, a big fan. He listened to Beatles records, memorized lyrics, but over time, that admiration turned sour. He began to believe Lennon was a fraud. Imagine no possessions. John sang while living in luxury at the Dakota Apartments in Manhattan. To Chapman, this wasn't just hypocritical, it was criminal. Chapman was also obsessed with J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye. He began to see himself as Holden Caulfield, the fictional teenager who hated phonies. Chapman believed Lennon was the ultimate phony. In October 1980, Chapman quit his job, bought a revolver, and flew to New York. He told no one what he planned to do. He was polite, quiet, but behind his calm eyes was a fantasy, one where he would become famous. December 8th, 1980, a cold Monday in New York. That morning, Chapman waited outside the Dakota. Around 5 p.m., John Lennon emerged with Yoko Ono. Headed to a recording session, Chapman approached him and asked for an autograph. Lennon signed it, smiled, asked if that's all he needed. Chapman said yes, but he wasn't done. Hours passed. At 10:50 p.m., Lennon and Yoko returned home. As they entered the Dakota's archway, Chapman emerged from the shadows. He pulled out a .38 caliber revolver, took a combat stance, and fired 5 shots. 4 bullets struck Lennon in the back and shoulder. He staggered forward, said, "I'm shot," then collapsed. Yoko screamed. A doorman called the police. Within minutes, John was rushed to Roosevelt Hospital at 11:07 p.m. Doctors pronounced him dead. John Lennon was 40 years old. While chaos erupted, Chapman didn't flee. He calmly sat down, pulled out The Catcher in the Rye, and began to read. When the NYPD arrived, Chapman told them, quote, "I acted alone. I did it to gain fame." Later, he would tell psychiatrists he believed killing Lennon would make him someone. Chapman pleaded guilty, no trial, no insanity plea. In 1981, he was sentenced to 20 years to life. He remains in prison to this day. His parole has been denied 12 times. The next day, fans gathered outside the Dakota. Radio stations stopped their regular broadcasts to play Beatles music. President Carter issued a statement, and around the globe, people lit candles for a man who changed the world with his music. Yoko Ono released a public statement. There is no funeral for John. John loved and prayed for the human race. Please pray the same for him. The murder of John Lennon was more than the end of a musician's life. It was a twisted mirror, reflecting the dark side of fame, obsession, and delusion. A man who sang about love and peace was gunned down by a man who once admired him, and in that moment, the world lost more than a Beatle. It lost a dreamer. What makes someone turn against their idol? Was Chapman insane or just evil? And how do we stop the cult of celebrity from consuming those who created? Thanks for watching this episode of Starky Stories, True Crime Edition. If this story shocked you, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. We dive deep into the darkest corners of reality murders, mysteries, and moments that changed history forever. Let us know in the comments, what case should we cover next? Which unsolved story keeps you up at night? Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and remember the truth is stranger than fiction.